This is the Alchemy Kitchen, and I'm going to be restoring some old cast iron I just got. I got it used on eBay in Germany. They said it was sitting for ages. Who knows how old it is? Only marking is a W or is it an M in 28, which I am guessing stands because there's 28 holes. These are, I can't remember the word, poffertjes or something. They're Dutch little pancakes they make in these. 16 inches across, so that's going to be the biggest challenge, is finding a container that I can do a vinegar soak. I use half vinegar, half water. That'll clean the rust off. I was watching some videos on quail eggs. I got quail now, and I'm getting eggs of how to make them, and I think it was in Thailand. They had a griddle like this, and they just dropped the eggs in oil and fry them like that, and they looked amazing, so I'm dying to make some. Gotta clean this thing first. Unfortunately, I saw some of these sold new. I think I got this for like €7 on a winning bid. The bottom's not flat, so I don't know if that's going to work on my induction stove, in the glass top stove. We'll have to see. Maybe it will. Might take a lot longer to heat up, or just do it over the grill. Obviously, this is going to be more work to clean than a standard skillet with all these 28 little pockets. Vinegar is going to do most of the work. Most of this rust is superficial. Nothing really deep in there, I can tell. My experience working with metal and cleaning up old rusty shit. So, I'm starting to grill just to cook some steaks, and first I'm going to go look for something that this will fit in. If not, I'm going to just have to use like a plastic bag, maybe even just a cloth like this, and clean out as much as I can of the rust, soak it in vinegar, and it's going to be ready to season very easily. Alright, found a tub. Fits. Just some white vinegar and half vinegar, half water. Important thing is it should be totally submerged. If any part is sticking out of the vinegar, that's going to cause a rust line. Not a huge deal, but better to submerge it. If it's underwater, under the vinegar, it's going to take the rust off and not rust the part sticking out. So that's going to soak. I'll come back in like an hour and give it a good scrub. A few cycles, probably a few hours. We'll see. The bottom is worse than the top, I was noticing. So this was in the vinegar bath for about an hour and a half. After 30 minutes or so, I went and scrubbed it. Steel brush is hard to get into these, so I just took a wad of steel wool to get in here. All the little pockets. Once I got it out, I just got a rag and wiped the rest of the dust off. There's a little bit of signs. The more it's going to dry, once you get out of the vinegar, that's normal. It's going to actually oxidize if you just leave it like this, so you don't want to let it set. The back was a little bit more time consuming. Still a little bit of rust, but that's not a big deal. I'm not eating off this side. What I'm going to do now is just get it really dry and heat it up. I finished grilling, so I'm going to put over the still warm coals, maybe put a log or two on there to bring up the heat, then throw some grapeseed oil on it and start seasoning it. Alright, so I just got this heated up in the grill. It's, hot enough that you can't really hold it without oven mitts. Just a little dab of oil. I'm using grapeseed oil. It's my favorite for this stuff. Cheapest. It works best that I found. Don't overdo it. I put a little bit in one of the wells and just kind of use that to dip a paper towel into and just spread it around. It's the same thing when working with steel. When you want to kind of treat it, is you get it like a hot enough temperature where it takes the oil and it blackens right away. And at this point, I'm just taking off as much as I can. Otherwise, it's going to get like these like weird blotches and stuff where it's too thick to do its job. So that's the front side and the sides. Gonna flip it over and do the same thing to the back. And just especially in all these little wells, I'm gonna try to get as much of that oil out as I can. Anything thicker than a really thin coat is going to work against you and make it harder to polymerize. And instead of doing this in the oven, I'm just going to do this over the hot coals. Alright, so coated in grapeseed oil and back over the grill. I could do this in the oven, but I'm pretty tired. I'm kind of lazy. The coals are still hot, so why not? You want to do it around 200, 225 Celsius. It's like 450 or so Fahrenheit. It doesn't have to be perfect. You want to get it to smoking point, and it's going to depend on your oil. I'm using grapeseed oil. How do you know if it's smoking point? Well, you start to see smoke. So I know this grill pretty well. I can kind of manage the fire pretty easily. I put it like a skillet. You put it upside down so the oil doesn't well up inside of it. But I wanted to do it in here so I can turn the light on. Just to show you it's not rocket science. It's really, really easy. I'm going to let that go for an hour and pull it out, let it cool. I really don't need to do a second cycle. I might, if the coals are still hot, I might as well. But more than 2 is pointless, because this is probably going to be used on an open fire anyways. And it's going to have a lot of oil in it when I cook, so simple. People overcomplicate this stuff so much, it's ridiculous. So it's ready to be used. Came a little bit darker on this side. It's just uneven heat of the grill, but turned out good. A little bit of rust still there, but that's, like I said, it's the bottom. I'm going to cook on it, it'll go away. So I'm going to make some quail eggs in this. Might do a video on that. I've never tried it before this way, so we'll see how it turns out. And I'm not sure how well this is going to work on top of a stove, because the bottom isn't flat. I don't have a fire stove, but we'll see.